Good morning. Whew. Good afternoon. Or good evening. And welcome to another episode of Jacob Walks Over a Bridge. I'm Jacob. I'm currently walking over a bridge. Now, I guess you'd be right to mistake me for walking next to a thruway, because, well, on this approach on the Triborough Bridge, or RFK Bridge, for those of you who only know this from Apple Maps, or Google Maps, or I guess any map app. Well, the approach going from Queens to Randall's Island is essentially level with the 4 lanes of traffic going in, I guess, northbound, west-northwest bound. The bridge kind of does some loops and turns, so I guess technically I'm walking west, the westbound traffic. So there's a nice big concrete barrier here between me and the lanes of traffic, but essentially walking right now. In some parts, it feels like I'm walking slightly below it. That'll change very quickly as I get towards the heart of the bridge, and I will walk up some steps and be leaps and bounds above wherever the cars are on the road. That's where the cars are. But for now, it might be a little noisy, which I'm sure you're all used to by now, all my avid listeners. It's been a little while since I've done this, and I apologize again. Things have been things, and it's not always as easy these days, especially given the weather and my increasingly busy social life have made it more difficult to make it out to do these bridge walks. It's not like in 2020 when there was nothing to do but walk over bridges. That was prime time to be a bridge walker. And we're probably coming up on the the end of season 3 soon. It's funny, even I don't know. I have a hunch, and I know probably around what we will call winter break time. My company has ever so graciously given us the week between Christmas and New Year's off. So I will probably, if all goes well, I'll probably try to record a couple episodes that week and end it with a bang. Until that point, here I am. Let's talk about pizza. I've been wanting to talk about pizza for a while now. I know early on in season 1 I dedicated a very long, full episode to bagels. And I probably could have done... I think I did another episode of bagels. I don't even remember now. I could talk about bagels every episode I really wanted to, but let's do pizza. The other half of the New York City cultural or cuisine icons. This is also pizza's probably more of New York City culture than bagels are. Bagels, unless you're like me, a sane person who can have a bagel at any meal. Most people just, I guess, save bagels for breakfast, and pizza can be lunch or dinner, meaning it has double the relevance. Again, for those people who only think of bagel as a breakfast food. And there are many problems with that argument. Pizza, though, you could have pizza and bagels together, an unholy combination, depending on what kind of bagel you use. Obviously, if you use a cinnamon raisin bagel for a savory pizza bagel, that's... I don't know, you just have problems. That's very, very... I'm not going to knock it till I try it, I'll say that. But that would not be the first combination. God forbid you use a blueberry bagel. Uh, have some standards in your life. I would hate, though, to see a real New York City bagel fresh out of the oven just be walloped with sauce and cheese and pepperoni. Save that for, I don't know, a bagel that's, maybe an older bagel, or, maybe a bagel out of a bag. But when a New York City bagel is born, there's certain routes it could take in its life. Some more adventurous than others, but there are some that are what we'd call the purest path, and that's with cream cheese and whatever else you want to put on there. But cream cheese first. Short butter. If there's a cream cheese shortage these days, so if your choice is between tofu, cream cheese, or butter, I would pick butter probably. But cream cheese is the way to go. But I remember when I was studying in London for a semester, I made fun of this one student. She was in my dorm, and we were in the kitchen, and there she has a bagel, and then she just dumped a can of SpaghettiOs on top. And that I could not forgive. I took a picture of her. I shamed her. I was not going to let that slide. I mean, we talk about pizza bagels being questionable. Putting SpaghettiOs on a bagel, that is not something I'm going to let just sit idly by and let happen without thoroughly making fun of her. But regular pizza, on the other hand, see, there I go. I just talked about bagels more when I was explicitly told you I was going to talk about pizza. Shame on me. Pizza. Pizza. Not Little Caesars pizza. I'll start with this conversation by saying that there's a difference between pizza and bread cheese sauce. Bread cheese sauce, anyone with an oven can make. You get the bread, you put the sauce, you put the cheese. You have what you would call pizza. But it's not really pizza in the New York frame of reference. Pizza, it's hard to say, it's more than just bread cheese sauce. I am saying bread cheese sauce when I said the order really is bread sauce cheese, but bread cheese sauce just sounds bad. Anyway, there's much more to that. I mean, you could say, there's love. It's the oven that's used. It's the way the pizza is prepared. The topping, don't even have to talk about toppings yet. We'll get to that later. But for pizza to be pizza, there's a dividing line. If you have like a real New York slice, you go to some random pizzeria on a Manhattan block versus a Little Caesars pizza, the difference is very clear. It's the quality of the cheese. It's the sauce that's intentionally made just to be pizza sauce. It isn't just drowning with sugar and other, who knows where they got their tomatoes from. There's something it's the quality of those ingredients. It's the, it doesn't have to be hot and ready in 5 minutes. Obviously not forever, but you could wait for a good slice pie of New York pizza. It is worth it. And then I guess being from New York, we are thin crust elitists here. A good thin crispy crust is key, and that's where the art comes into it. There's a very fine line between a droopy slice and a burnt slice. You got to have that nice fine line in the middle where there's a crisp to the crust when you bite into it. It's not, if you fold it like any sane person would do as they eat their pizza, you should be able to fold it a little bit of a snap. Maybe it's some bend, but there should be a good let's say, a 35-degree angle when you hold the pizza when it's folded. So the crust, very important. And the cheese, of course. Gotta have good cheese. And I guess that's where you see a difference between what we will call a real slice and a dollar slice. The dollar slice is also a New York icon, but for a different reason. When I get a dollar slice, I'm expecting more bread cheese sauce than I'm expecting a good slice of pizza. And I guess cheese might be stretching it, so to speak. Even before we were talking about inflation, they probably weren't using real cheese. A slice is $1 in this day and age. It's probably, they're cutting through the corners somewhere, and the cheese is probably one of the first places to go to get cut. And then I guess talking about the love aspect, like I said before, love does play a role. You got to have some understanding of what makes a pizza work. You have to be able to, if you're a pizza artist, and you have to commune with your creation, with your pie. And that's what makes a good pizza. Simple as that. And I'm not going to go into length about where I think the best slice of pizza is in the city. It's because I really, I don't know. There are a lot of places to go, and honestly, if you find any older place that's been around, let's say hypothetically 40 plus years, you're guaranteed to get probably a decent slice. If you've lasted that long in this city without going under at some point, you're probably doing something right. And because as you can tell from the way I'm speaking, New York is a tough crowd when it comes to pizza. We're going to let you know if it's not good. And by letting you know, we're just not going to eat it. So if it's been around for long enough, it's going to be a good slice. And there are a lot of different good slices, and they're all slightly different. Some have, their own spin on pizza. It all depends what you're really looking for, what neighborhood you're in. So I'm not going to readily endorse one slice over another at this time. If a pizza parlor wants to sponsor this podcast, I will gladly throw all of my weight in support. Even if Papa John said, Jacob, we want to sponsor this podcast. Here's some money. Tell the world how good Papa John's is. I'm going to tell you how good Papa John's is. At this point, I'm a corporate shill. I'll sell out for Papa John's. But I can't say for certain what the best slice is in the city. But to be fair, if I could have a bagel any meal of the day, I can have pizza day after day, which is obviously not very good for you. Gotta mix things up when it comes to your diet. Oh, sorry for pausing. I'm at the point of the Triborough Bridge where there is no high safety barrier between, or just hanging up over the old barrier. So there's a very nice clear view of the Hell's Gate Bridge and the rest of the East River, and gotta avoid people riding whatever on here like they shouldn't be. It's a little scary, I guess, now that we've just grown so accustomed to having those large safety barriers on these bridges. By we, I mean me. But it's also just nice to see, being able to see the whole unobstructed view. But back to pizza, and I said I was going to come back to toppings. I was talking about this with someone earlier, and I have a top 5 topping list that the order might shift slightly every now and then, but these are the top tier toppings to put on a pizza in my honest opinion. Number 5, pepperoni, the classic. I like a little spice on the pie. Sometimes I recently got into putting red pepper chili flakes on the top of my pizza, which adds a good spice level. But having pepperoni on there is good. Like I said, it's a classic. Try not to get it too oily. It could look really nice when we get the cup pepperoni. It's a nice little Instagram worthy shot. But you can't beat a classic. So pepperoni rounds out the top 5. Number 4, olives. Or no. Olives are 3. What did I pick for number 4 again? Oh, eggplant. I was vegetarian for a few years, and some of these you'll notice are holdovers from there. As you grow accustomed to the veggie life when you have any meat. And the eggplant, I guess the eggplant they really most pizzerias use feels like a good meat substitute. They'll get the thinly sliced, breaded, fried eggplant. Again, not the healthy. You're choosing vegetables, not the healthiest veggie choice. It's still fun. It's still good. It adds a nice bit of texture to the pizza. Has that eggplant flavor, and of course, anything fried tastes good. As one camper said when I was a camp counselor, I like fried things because they taste normal. It's the American in me, I suppose. But yeah, I can't complain. And number 3, as I teased before, olives. Specifically, I like the... Oh, shoot. I was just... When I was in Astoria... Now that I'm thinking about olives, I was in Astoria, and I was thinking about trying to make like a cheesy olive bread again. I did last year. But I forgot to look for... I don't know... Did I even see... I don't know. They probably did, just didn't think to get them. I was going to get a canned sliced olives. Oh. That's why you make a list, Jacob. Just like I'm making this list of top toppings for pizza. Like number 3, olives. Usually don't... I got olive spread while I was there because I knew I probably needed to pick one of those up because the one I have now is nearing its end. I forgot the canned olives, but if I wasn't putting in a cheesy bread, it would probably go pretty well on pizza. And now, there are a lot of olives out there, but the best olives to put on pizza are you get them in the can, they're the black ones with the little holes on them. As a kid, you could stick your fingers and then get olive fingers, real fun. But they've got a more of a mellow flavor than other olives you might pick up. Like, it's not just, straight up Kalamata olive soaked in the brine. I mean, those are good on their own and good on bagels. I'm not going to talk about bagels anymore. But I feel like they throw off the flavor of the pizza a little bit. Like, they're very salty, and I guess that just conflicts with the saltiness of the cheese, or, it's too much of a good thing, so to speak. So definitely need to cut back on the salt, and the canned olives do that job fairly well. Like I said, you still get an olive flavor, but it's not overwhelming. Number 2, sausage. Now, when I was vegetarian, sausage was the thing I missed the most, meat-wise. And not just any... I mean, I like sausage in general. Don't tell me how it's made. But having the sausage on pizza was probably my favorite sausage. Have I grown a little tired of it? I mean, maybe a little now. I still would love to have it on pizza. It's not something I crave like I did when I was vegetarian, but I guess, when you crave something when you're vegetarian, you're going to have that craving for years until you break and get it. No, sausage is, any type of sausage, really. Hot sausage, sweet sausage, whatever kind of sausage they put on pizza. That's my favorite meat to have on a pie. And the number one topping to have on a slice of pizza, broccoli. I know, controversial choice, sue me. But in my honest opinion, broccoli is one of my favorite vegetables, especially, raw broccoli, ew. I don't know why anyone has raw broccoli. Not a good choice. I'm talking like that because I'm walking downstairs. But broccoli, when it's cooked, chef's kiss. I don't know, something just happens to it. It just becomes really delicious. and cooked on top of a slice of pizza. Just kind of soaks up a little bit of that pizza flavor. It's just a good vegetable, good crunch, little soft, little chewy. It's the florets are really good. It's all around just a great vegetable to have on a slice of pizza. And that's the list. Would I have all 5 on one slice? Probably not. Generally, if I'm out getting a slice at a slice place, they won't have a broccoli, like a slice dedicated to just broccoli. And there's some vegetables I don't like, namely onions and mushrooms, that they like to put on veggie pizzas or veggie slices that have broccoli on it. But lately, I guess the go-to slice, if I'm getting a special slice, is chicken and broccoli. Chicken, not my first choice to put on pizza. I guess it's more of an unconventional choice, not something you usually see or think to have on pizza, but it's worth it to have the broccoli. The chicken's good, it's like chicken parm. I like pizza, if you couldn't tell. I can't go anywhere. I can't move anywhere. The bagels and the pizza are just going to be too disappointing. When I was in Atlanta, the best we could do on a budget, college budget, was Domino's. I still have their number saved on my phone, just as a reminder to myself of how bad things can get if I move someplace else. And just also, it just goes as far as like the terminology people use outside of New York. It's different. I was at one of the Emery's dining halls at the pizza station, and I asked for a plain slice, and the person behind the counter gave me a confused look. Did I mean a cheese slice? Every pizza that's deemed worthy of being called pizza has cheese on it in some form or another. Whatever, lactose intolerant, just salt. No, I don't even know what you'd call that. It's not pizza. And I am the arbiter of what pizza is because. Can't survive out where your best option. I mean, it wasn't the best option for pizza when I was in college. There were other places around that could pass for New York City pizza, but it's not the same. I would end up being one of those people that moves out, misses their food so much that they opened up their own restaurant for whatever, you hear all the time. By hear all the time, I mean if you're watching diners, drive-ins, and dives like I do every time I go home. You'll hear about, this New York transplant missed his deli food so much that he opened up his own deli so he can have a good knish. I got water on my head. I would be that guy. I'm yawning. I just didn't sleep well last night. Sorry. And also, I'm towards the end of the bridge. I don't know if you noticed, things got a little quieter as you get to land, or as you begin your descent onto Randall's Island. You go into this fully enclosed cave. Not like before where there was nothing. Now you can't escape. You can't jump out, do anything. A nice walkway that goes now under where the cars are. So things probably, you notice, got a little quieter. Miss playing softball here. Miss a lot of things. Things that'll probably never happen again. Shake my fist at COVID. COVID's closed many doors, opened a few more. Just at this point, you have to accept it and get your shots and learn to live a life again. I just got a text. No matter. Anywho, I'm about to exit via the stairs, and as much as I love talking going downstairs, I think it's best for everyone if I sign off here. So, as I'm wont to say, good day, and good night.